Hey, before we get started on today's episode, we have a quick disclaimer for you. Constable Bean is a little rowdy, and there might be a bit of cursing involved throughout our episodes. We are all about sharing authentic well being journeys, even if they're not always pretty, because, it'd be like that sometimes. So we want you to feel super comfortable and respected while you're tuning into our podcast. So if you're easily offended by colorful language. That was a great way of putting it. Great job, Jade. This podcast might not be for you, and that is okay. But we wish you well always. Now, let's jump into today's episode. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Constable Being the podcast where the intention is well. My name is Jade.
And I'm Aileen.
And we're your hosts for today's episode. If you're new, hey. If you're not, welcome back. So today we are going to jump right in. We're going to skip over our moments because I feel like Aileen made a great point. Our moments are going to be the context of this entire episode. So today we're going to be focusing on our self-care routines, if you will, and like what we do for like day or night. I guess you could call like your daytime, your morning routine or your night routine. It depends on what you do. Do you have both, Aileen? Do you have like a morning routine and a night routine or just one?
I think I have both in a way, but mine is kind of weird because I do different things throughout the day.
Okay, I want to
So,
hear
what
that.
about
No,
you?
I I have a morning routine for sure. My nighttime routine is sus. Like it's very I'm trying and I just got into it. I used to have like a really good nighttime routine and then it got replaced with like let me scroll through TikTok until I fall asleep. And that I think was really affecting my sleep, to be honest with you. Did I tell you that for like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 months, I was waking up at like 3 to 4 a.m. every morning?
No.
Oh, yeah. So I think that's one of the consequences of not having a nighttime routine for me. So yeah, no, I would wake up every morning at 3 to 4 a.m., look at the clock and be so mad because I'm like, why am I awake? And then try and go back to sleep. And then, of course, I wake up at like, depends on if I'm going into the office or if I'm working from home. But usually I wake up at like 6 or 7 a.m. to get the day started. So it's like, okay, I didn't fall back asleep until 5. And then I had to wake back up at 6 or 7. I was just like an angry little bird. So yeah, that happened. And then you know what fixed it? You're not gonna be shocked at all. But I got back from Bali and I stopped waking up at 3 to 4 a.m. And I was like, wow, I don't know. I don't know what did it, but I made a couple of changes, which we'll talk about. But yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Well,
girl.
let's hear it. Let's hear your morning routine.
Okay, my morning routine. Okay, first, I want to like give myself like just space to always change my morning routine because I feel like my morning routine depends on what I need. So I used to have a very strict morning routine. I would wake up in the morning, I would meditate for like 15 to 20 minutes. I would drink matcha. I would like look in the mirror, say my morning affirmations for like 5 minutes. Like this was so serious, and then I would work out for an hour, and that was my morning routine. And I was like, that's when I was like killing it. I would also like manage to fit in like 15 minutes of like reading in the morning or like watch like a YouTube or something and listen to a podcast in the morning as well. Like I would listen to the same um like music playlist in the morning, which would like it like started off with like um oh god, what is that one song? I can't even remember. I actually have the entire podcast or the entire playlist. It's called like the Sunflower playlist because I just thought it was so cute. But it's like a bunch of like happy like Ariana Grande songs basically. And
I love
then
that.
yes, and then I would listen to In Hindsight, the podcast. Have you ever listened to that podcast?
No.
Ooh, I feel like you would really like him. He's just like he's so chill. And it's a great way to start off your morning. So I'd listen to him after listening to that podcast and then I would get my day started. And that was my daytime routine. and it slowly started to change. I think it really does change with the seasons for me because sometimes it's easier for me to wake up, like depending on like if it's summertime because I like to have the sun wake me up. I don't like to wake up to an alarm, which is slightly reckless if I didn't trust my body the way that I did. But like during the summertime, I just usually like sleep with like the shades like a little bit open and like the light from the sun will wake me up when the sun comes up. And I think that's a less aggressive way versus like an alarm. I don't like waking up to an alarm. But in the wintertime, the sun don't come up like it's the Bay Area. Like it's dark all the time. So I have to wake up to an alarm. And I really think that like it is not helpful for me. Like I'm just like, oh, it's such an aggressive way for me to wake up. So that's where we're at. That's where we were at. And then as like the seasons changed, I would kind of step back from meditating. Like for a little bit, I took a step back from meditating because I felt like I was doing it out of routine, but I wasn't like really focusing on it, if that makes sense. Like it was like something that I was doing, but it wasn't hitting like the way that it used to hit. And I was like, okay, maybe find a different way to like connect with yourself or something. And so I switched out like my morning meditation with like just like dancing around in the mirror, which
I
was
do. I dance around in the morning, but not in the mirror, as in getting ready.
you gotta Aileen, the mirror really takes it up a notch. Okay. It takes you from like, okay, I'm just like doing like a, I don't know what I'm doing to like I'm putting on a performance. I am working it in this mirror. I really feel like you should add some mirror work
Are
to
you like
your
Beyonce in your mirror?
like I feel like you should. You should definitely Beyonce, Britney Spears it all the way up in front of the mirror. It really just like it gives you that like extra boost, I feel like. It's mirror
Okay,
work. I think
okay.
it's good. Um yeah, so dancing in the mirror I feel like is really good for like the winter time. Now I feel like I'm in like a happy medium where it depends on what I'm doing for the day. But some days I'll wake up, I'll do a little sound bowl situation,
Mhm.
and then do yoga. Some days I'll just start off and just do yoga, but like this was very I feel like this is still carrying on from when I was doing the yoga certification. So like I'm used to like okay, I got to wake up, I got to do yoga and like focus. I switched out like my like normally I would have like 2 cups of matcha. I switched out matcha, 1 cup of matcha for clove tea lately. I don't know where that came from. Um,
Clove tea?
yes. Have you ever had it?
No.
You sound almost like disgusted. You're like, why did
No, like,
you?
it sounds different. I've never
Mhm.
had it, so I can't judge it. I love the smell of clove,
Mhm.
but I've never had it in a tea.
Okay. I think I went to Whole Foods and they like sell cloves there. I'm sure you
Mhm.
could find them anywhere, but it tastes like well, you know the smell of cloves, right? Like you know what it smells like. It's almost
Mhm.
like a Christmassy smell to me. Like it's
Yes,
like a
this is why I love
warm,
it.
like cinnamony smell. And it's
Mhm.
really good for you. Like it has a lot of benefits, especially for like your teeth and stuff like that. It's supposed to be like, I think it's like, let me not misspeak and just like start like rambling
Yeah,
off facts.
tell
But
me what are the benefits? Do I need to go buy this
hold
today?
on. Wait, how am I not ready with Chat GBT? Hold on. Give me one moment, please. Okay, so benefits of clove tea. Here we go. So, antioxidant properties, anti-inflammatory effects, digestive support, oral health. I knew it had oral health. Clove tea is known for its oral health benefits. It contains I'm not even gonna try and say that. A compound with antimicrobial properties that can help fight oral infections and reduce bad breath. It is often used as a natural remedy for toothaches, gum pain, and sore throat. I
Hmm.
use it as like because it's in the morning time, but like I feel like it gives like a mouthwash effect because it also like makes your mouth like a little like almost like numb a little bit and like tingly, but then it like you smell like cloves, which smells like Christmas. Okay. Then you have immune system support, respiratory health, and blood sugar regulation. So there's like a lot of benefits to
Interesting.
tea, to clove tea. I bought it originally because I saw this TikTok, as I typically do, of like people making rosemary water for their
Mhm.
hair. Have you seen that before?
Have you Yes, I have
Okay.
seen that.
Okay. So I saw that and someone was like, "Oh, add some clove in there too." And I was like, "Huh. Okay." So I did. And I was like, "Isn't it also like can't I drink it?" And then I started looking it up. I was like, "I'm gonna drink it." So yeah, I drink it now in the morning. I have that
I
before I
see.
have my matcha, and it's supposed to be like I think they said it's like anti-parasitic or something too, which if you drink it in the morning time and there's nothing in your stomach, I guess that's what they recommend, or at the very end of your night. So that's what I've been drinking in the morning time and some morning yoga or Pilates. I've been kind of like, I haven't really been doing weightlifting that much. I don't know. It hasn't really been speaking to me, but I did go to the gym today because I was like, I just didn't feel like doing an hour of yoga. So I was like, let me go downstairs and see what the gym is looking like. And I was so tired. I was so tired. My legs hurt so bad. But that's my morning routine. What is yours?
I love yours. Yours is way more than mine. Super short. Well, ever since I've been fasting, I wake up
Mm.
before my alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I like set an alarm, get up, and it depends on what I'm doing that day. Like if I have to drive into the office, then it's like I just get up, get in the shower, and try and get out of the house. But if I'm not, that's when I have more time. So I'll get up, I go for a walk outside,
Mm.
typically with my dog, but I like to be outside. And then as I'm walking, like it's just me and my dog, right? And I do this like I walk him in the morning and at night. So as I walk him, it's like my moment outside in nature, and I just think of all the things like I'm grateful for that day. And it could be anything. And then when I get back from walking him in the morning, that's when I get ready. And so like I'll take a shower and brush my teeth and all of that stuff. And then as I'm doing that, that's when I dance around because it's like, okay, let's get ready for the day. Let's like be happy about it and all this. And then um I will typically it depends what time I get up, let's be honest. But from there, I was a huge coffee drinker, and now that I'm fasting, I can't have like coffee with cream and sugar, and that's the only way I like my coffee. So I've been on this tea kick. So I you know what? I haven't tried matcha yet, but it's like
Aileen,
I like matcha
matcha?
lattes, but I've never had just matcha tea.
No, I mean you can make matcha lattes at home, but like you ha- matchas in the morning. I'm sorry. Are you know what? Let me calm down. I clearly am a matcha stan. Like that one, that one
Like,
struck a nerve for
you know
me.
what? Maybe I'll try it tomorrow morning. I have
Okay.
matcha. I've only had it in like a latte form, but now I can't have that in the mornings because I'm fasting. So,
Oh, so you would just okay, I understand what you mean. Because I was like,
yeah,
you made me a matcha latte at your house one time. Like you were like, here
I
you go. And
know.
I was like, I love being here. You everything is so great here. You just have soft blankets. I wake up in the morning, you give me a matcha latte. I love it here.
No, like I
Okay.
have it. I just haven't had it just as a tea though.
Okay, yeah. I think the only thing is with matcha is make sure you like well you have like the little mixer thing, right? Like the little
Yes,
blender thing. Yeah,
the
just cuz
whisk.
yeah, cuz I feel like sometimes it'll like settle at the bottom, but usually it depends on the day, but I can drink matcha by its like just matcha tea and it be fine. Or I'll
Okay.
put oat milk in there and it's not crazy. I will say though, like if you're not used to it, like it takes a minute. Like it's very earthy if there's nothing in there. So yeah, just be open to that.
Okay.
But you'll get used
Okay.
to it.
So yeah, I usually will have green tea because just without sugar or anything now.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of my go-to now. And then like I'll end up like fasting until like it's time to eat and then whatever. But yeah, so in the mornings, that's typically what it is. And if I am driving into work, I tend to like as I'm driving, right? Because I have an hour drive, that I'll it'll be like my little moment to like have a conversation with God and be like, "Oh, thank you for this," or "I'm so happy for this," whatever. Like we talk about like manifesting and stuff in the past, and this is kind of something where it's just like reaffirming it. So I just like, "Oh, thanks for like my car and letting me be able to drive to work and whatever like comes to mind." And it's just kind of like my time where I don't really need to be doing anything else except for concentrating on the road and you're just
Mhm.
thinking about things. So that's kind of my moment in that in the mornings when I'm driving. So it just kind of depends what I'm doing. And then at night, I
I
used
have
to
s
meditate.
can I pause you really fast? Because I have, like,
Yes.
15 questions for you.
Okay.
Um, so when you drive, you don't,
Hmm.
like, listen to any music? Are you driving in silence?
I have music on, but I tend to tune it out.
Okay, okay. I was like, "Wait, am I the only one that, like"
No,
okay,
usually I love music. So I'll be like jamming out to it or whatever, but I make sure there's like some time that I have that. So like when I drive home, it's more of like my jam out session in my car.
okay.
But in the mornings, it's typically like it's like lower, it's on, but it's not super loud. And then, you're just driving and paying attention to traffic. So I have time to think.
Got it, okay. Because I was like, "Am I like a sociopath?" Because my sister drives in complete silence, and so does my dad, and
Really?
I'm like I'm like, "Am I okay?" I'm like, "That's actually really crazy that you just wanna sit with your thoughts that long." I
Nope.
never. Immediately, I'm like, "We need to put something on." It's either music usually in the morning, I try and do a podcast, like, if I'm, like, on the shuttle, I try, but I will scroll through TikTok, like, I will not lie to you. Um, I try, but yeah, I'm just like, am I the only one who listens to music? My other question is, how long are you fasting for? Like until noon?
Um, no, I usually fast until like dinner time.
Aileen,
Hmm.
wait, walk me through this. Walk me through this.
So, basically my doctor said I should be fasting and trying this out. So I have been,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, just fast basically all day until it's like dinner time. So the first month, I was waiting until like 5 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
and like I drink water and like tea throughout the day because like tea I can drink without sugar and stuff. Um, or I'll drink like a sparkling water or something like that. And so I'll have that throughout the day. And then when it's dinner time at 5, I'll have like whatever I want to eat, right? Because it's like a reward to me because I haven't eaten anything all day.
Yeah.
So I'll typically do that. But then I realize like I get really hangry
Yeah.
and I'm like, what the heck? I'm going to hurt somebody. And so then I realized like I just need to move it up. So now, depending on like what I'm doing at that day or that time or whatever, I try and eat around 3:30. Um, and that's when I'll like break the fast, or I'll like if I'm not home yet, then I'll just wait till I get home and figure it out that way. So like today I ate around like 3 because I was starving. And so but like yesterday I waited till after 5.
Wow.
So it just kind of depends, but I like it because I think I can eat a 3-course meal and not feel guilty about it.
I mean, you could do that anyway. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever have to feel guilty about eating anytime. So, yeah, no, I get that. That
Yeah.
yeah. But
So
like
what? You have so
how
many
long no,
questions.
because you don't understand. The thing I guess this might be a Taurus thing, but Food is a very big deal for me. And I've said this to my dad before. And he was just like, to each is their own. But the thing that gets me through the day, like the things that are getting me through the day, is the thought of my next meal. Like I go to sleep and I'm like, at least I get to eat breakfast tomorrow morning. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what
Yeah.
wakes me up. And then like I'll eat breakfast and then I'm like, oh, at least there's lunch. You know what I'm saying? Like I split my day up into when's the next time do I get to eat something? And so I think in order for me, and like this is just my thought process, but like in order for me to be able to make it like to like 3:30 or 5 o'clock, like I can only do that if I'm like extremely busy. But if I'm like just living my life, I'm hungry. And so I don't understand like, oh, you know what? I like lashed out on someone the last time I didn't eat until like 4 o'clock. And I was like, oh, Jade, it's because you didn't eat. So I don't know how you're not walking around being a menace and you're like walking around just being like angelic Aileen all the time. Like, I'm shocked. How long have you been doing this for?
This is, I've done it for 2 months now.
My God.
Yeah. And at first it was hard, right? But then it's strange how like our brains work, right? So like you'll be fine and then all of a sudden you'll be like, "Oh, I'm really, really hungry." And then after you get past that, "I'm really, really hungry," you're not hungry anymore. And it's like your brain is telling you like, "Oh, you need to eat now," right? And I think my issue is like I've always had like a weird relationship with food. Like I am the biggest snacker.
Mm-hmm.
I love to snack,
Same.
but I'm not even hungry. And so like if I'm bored and I have time, I'm gonna go grab a snack.
I do that too.
And yeah, and it's
I
like,
do
but
that.
I don't need like, do I really need that food? And then for me, I have a big sweet tooth. So it's like I want to eat something sweet, right? So it's like I wasn't making the healthiest choices, let's put it that way. And so when I switched jobs, and I realized this every time like I switch jobs or there's like a big change in my life, like when I moved or when I switch a job and this stuff, like my health and everything kind of falls to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And so I realized like when I started this new job, I'd gained a whole bunch of weight and I was like, oh crap. And it was taking me longer to get rid of it, like to get into that like routine. Because I used to like work out, I used to do all this stuff and eat healthy and all this. And I think there's different ways. Like some people eat small meals like every 3 hours and it works for them. And for me, it's like I'm all over the place that like I don't have the discipline to do that, right? Like when I was living up north, I was doing that. And I think I was more on the healthier side and that sort of thing. And then when I moved back down to Southern California and this new job and everything, like it, I forgot about it. And I was just like snacking and eating. And then like I would never work from home up there. And this job, like I can work from home 2 days. So I'm working from home and it's like, oh, I'm going to go and get a snack. I have a break, I'm going to get a snack. Right. And then it's
Mm-hmm.
like, all of a sudden I'm eating all these calories and I'm not even freaking hungry.
I have a question, and this is a very serious question. Do
Okay.
you you're gonna be like, Jade, be serious for 1 second. But like sometimes I like don't count things as eating depending on what they are. Do you do that? Like
I
if
think I
I
used
eat,
to do that. So like something like a vegetable or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I never counted that in the background, right? But it's like the bad things that you go and eat, right? So like I want some popcorn or it's popcorn's not even that bad for you, but
yeah. I
if
was
you
like
get the kettle
popcorn.
corn,
Yeah,
right? And
okay.
stuff like that, you're like, "Oh, you don't really need that sugar and stuff." So I think for me, it all like changed. I saw some documentary on Netflix. I forgot what it was called, but it relates like sugar and a sugar like addiction can be worse than like an addiction to cocaine. And I was
Not
like,
cocaine.
holy cow. I was like, what the heck, really? And it's crazy how it like triggers your brain. And so that's why for me, like I try and I have the biggest sweet tooth, Jade. You know this. So I really try and make sure, like, I try and reduce my sugar intake, right? And so I try and eat clean and that sort of thing. But I realize when I have big shifts in my life, that's when I'm like, oh, and I automatically want it. I go to it, right? So now it's only like if it's a holiday or like my birthday or something like that, right? I'll eat a piece
Hmm.
of cake, I'll do that sort of thing. But I don't want to have it every single day, right? Because I don't know, I'm just I guess I'm paranoid because diabetes like runs in my family and stuff
Oh
like that.
yeah,
I'm like,
no, that makes
and
sense. Yeah.
so that's why for me, I really try and cut back on that stuff. But I do
Hmm.
realize like I snack and sometimes I don't make the healthiest choices, right? And so that's why I'm like, no, you need to get it back together. So that's what so I think too much about food. So when you're fasting, you're at this point where you have like basically one meal, right?
Hmm.
So for me, it's like, okay, good job, Aileen. You followed this diet. You outbeat your brain to say, like, hey, you're hungry, eat now. And the other thing is, like, I I don't have to constantly think about like, oh, how many calories have I eaten today? Is this a good choice? Is this, because that portion that I'm eating is not going to suffice for all the calories in a day. Right. And I've noticed a lot of benefits from it. Like before I'd wake up and I'm like, I'm tired. I don't want to get up. Where's my coffee? Whatever. And I told you now I wake up before my alarm and I wake up energized, Jade.
I was gonna say, like, I was like, I hope you have like energy, because girl, the way, whew, I'd be so tired. But I'm assuming that your doctor recommended this because, like, there are benefits for you. Like, it's doctor recommended. It's not like you just were like, you know what? I'm just gonna eat one meal a day and see what happens. So, like,
Yeah,
I'm glad
no.
that like a doctor, like you're talking to a doctor. I do think that you brought up something that is very that kind of like brings it back to like routines, which is like whenever you like switch jobs, you kind of like are like, okay, I don't really know how this is going to go. And I do think like the good thing about like having a routine or like something that you like even just like a habit is
Hmm.
like when you're under stress, you're naturally going to go back to your habit. Like
Hmm.
that's the way that that goes. And so I think that having like a routine does kind of like help you fall back on like what to do when you're super stressed, because you're like, okay, I have this like foundation built. I know that when I'm stressed, I'm going to have like a healthy like habit or a healthy routine that I can always fall back on. So I do think that kind of like proves the importance of like making sure that you do have a routine like set that you can fall back on, that you're almost like it's almost like automatic, where it's like you revert back to like this healthy routine. I think that's very
Hmm.
important.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's hard to keep up with the routine, right? Like I'm still struggling to get back into like a workout routine, right? And so like right now I'm like I force myself like you have to go on a walk every day.
Which is great. Like they say you're supposed to go on a walk like or like touch not touch grass, see the sun for like the within like the first 30 minutes of you waking up for like your circadian rhythm. So
Hmm.
I think that's great. But I do think it's not really like I'm gonna sound like super cliche, but like sometimes cliches like really, sometimes they do what they need to do. I don't know that we should call it like a routine. Sometimes like it turns out to be like a part of your lifestyle. Like if you build it in, like it's like this is just what I do. It's not like,
Yeah,
like
yeah. And I think that's what I strive for at least, right?
yeah.
Is like the morning routine or night routine is I want to make it into my lifestyle, right? So
Mhm.
I want to try, like, I've heard the benefits of meditation and like mindfulness, right? And there's so many different things of how you can be mindful, right? I just went to a conference actually last week, and they're actually bringing mindfulness into the workplaces, right? And how we can be mindful and make sure our employees are mindful because ultimately it's going to lead them to pay attention more And also like um it can help like reduce stress, injuries, all this stuff because you're being more mindful, right? You have more clarity. And so it's very interesting. Like I know there's studies out there for meditation, right? And trying it. And it's hard. Like you think it's easy and you can sit there and you can do it. Listen, I was trying it at night and I'd be falling asleep. Okay. I'd be like, I don't even know what happened. I fell asleep, whatever.
Hmm.
But I want to try and incorporate that and build it into a lifestyle, even if it's only like 10 minutes a day. Like that's nothing. I sit on Instagram and other things for way more than 10 minutes. Like I just need to say, this is what I'm going to do and this is what I'm going to and promise it to myself, right? Because something that I actually heard recently is we accomplish everything we promise to other people, but we don't do the things that we promise to ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think we do that a lot, right? We, at least I do, is, oh, I'm going to start eating healthy. Oh, I'm going to start working out again. Oh, I'm going to wake up early so I can work out and do everything before I go to work. I don't do that. Oh, I'm gonna lay in bed longer. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Oh, I don't need to work out because I need to finish this or do this, right? I think I need to be more present and make sure I follow through with the stuff that I promise myself instead of focusing on the things that I promise other people.
Yeah, for sure. Always. You should always put
Mhm.
yourself first and you should always put yourself before work as well. Like put your health before work. That work is always going to be there. Like you always need to focus on your health and put that first. And I feel like that's really important.
Yeah.
And we should. I think like the mindfulness movement at work, I think we do need to have a conversation about it when we get to like work because there is, I mean, there's corporate mindfulness where like they just want you to, think that they care about like your mental health and your physical health because at the end of the at the end of the day, like you are a number to them, and so like don't mess up the number. Like if you get injured, you're costing them money. Like
Yep.
if you're not being productive, you're costing them money. So you do have to realize like they're putting money first and they're like kind of like marketing as like we care and like let take a minute settle down like think about your mental health. Yeah, because if you have a mental breakdown you're going to quit and they're going to have to retrain someone on the job, which is going to cost them money. So yeah, sit down, but that's neither here nor there. It's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah. And
Sometimes
I
we're
think
like
it's, yeah, no, 100%. I think we'll get there and it'll be a great discussion. And I think no matter who you are, what you want to incorporate in your routines, it's very important that one, you keep your promise to
yeah,
yourself, and two, it could be anything, right? I think there's so many different things that you could want to do, and it's just making sure that you do it, right? And so I'm going to promise all of you guys right now, starting tomorrow morning, I am going to make time for 10 minutes of meditation.
good. I love that you set like a small goal because I was like, please don't say like an hour or something because Aileen,
No.
what the heck? Yeah, I think that's good. I want to make a change too. Hold on, wait.
Okay,
No,
what is it?
wait, let me think of something. I want to add something to my nighttime routine because I feel like we didn't get to nighttime routines, but I feel like making small changes is how I've been successful. And I feel like I agree with you when you say like we need to be able to keep our promises. And I think that like my self-esteem was really low when I felt like I wasn't able to keep my promises to myself because I was always like, you said you're going to do this and you didn't do it. And I was like doubting myself where I was just like, can you do anything that you say that you're going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like I had that mindset because I wasn't able to keep a promise to myself. And so I do think like let's try and keep promises to ourselves. So let me think of a promise because my nighttime routine has just become Jade, put your phone outside of your room so that you don't go to sleep looking through TikTok. Like that's the only nighttime routine that I have so far. is like your phone can't be in your room, and then that way I don't start my day off on my phone too. Like that's what I'm trying not to do anymore. And I think it's really helped. So what do I okay, I want to add something that I think is gonna be beneficial to me. I'm gonna say, okay, so you did 10 minutes of meditation. I'm gonna do 10 minutes of reading. 10 minutes of reading before I go to sleep. That's it.
Okay,
Okay. You got 10
that's
minutes of
good.
meditation. I got 10 minutes of reading. I think that'll be really helpful. Because right now I like sometimes I'll do like a little sound bath in front of the mirror and stuff, but that's like every other day. And I'm like, okay, other than that, like I just take a shower, go to sleep. Like take a shower, like do my whole like skincare routine, all that stuff, and then go to sleep. And I'm like, we can make this a bit more baller, don't you think? Like let's add something to it.
Yeah,
Give it a little
yeah,
bit more space.
you should. I think reading is great. And everyone will match with something different, right? So it's really whatever works for you.
Yes. What is your nighttime routine?
I think for me is really it starts out with skincare. Like I gotta wash my
As
face,
it
put
should,
on,
yes.
all that stuff. And the one thing for me is I used to work before I go to bed, and now I'm like, nope, you're not doing that anymore. And it's really just for me, it's really making everything super comfortable, right? Because I think we work hard all day long. That it's like making sure you're comfortable, and I I need to literally have full darkness, okay? So it's like fully dark in my room. The window has to be open because I don't know, I like fresh air. And
Ooh, do you have a specific temperature that you have to sleep at?
I don't like it to be too cold. So I realize like when I'm traveling, the rooms are
Mm-hmm.
freaking cold. So I take like I legit sleep in like a sweatshirt because it's always cold in there and I can't figure out the freaking air conditioning in hotels. But like at home, it can't be too hot. So I think like 70 like 3 is perfect for me, 73,
Mm-hmm.
74. Um in like the whole entire house. But like that, I think I would set my apartment to like 74. Do you have like 70?
No, I mean 74 for me, like it's funny. It's actually kind of funny because people always say this where they're like, it's funny that like during the winter time, like 72 degrees is cold in your apartment, but like, you would want that during the summertime.
Uh-huh.
Like when it's like summertime and it's like 74, I'm like, let's bring it down to 72. But when it's wintertime, it's 72. I'm like, let's bring it up to 74. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what that's about. Um, Normally I like to keep like during the daytime I keep my apartment around like 73, 74, 72.
Mm-hmm.
For nighttime lately, and this might be why I've been sleeping through the night, I've been bringing it down to like 68.
Dang.
Yeah,
Do you
and
sleep hot?
I don't I don't know the answer to that. Like sometimes I I don't think I sleep hot. I think I am a warm person. Um but I sleep under like a big duvet. Like I sleep under a couple of layers. But they say like I think 64 is like the targeted like temperature for you to get your deepest sleep. I think that's too cold for me because I get up in the middle of the night because I have to use the restroom and like that if I had to get up and it's 64 degrees
Yeah.
can't do that. But yeah, no, lately it's been like 68 degrees that I've been keeping it at and I think it's been helpful, I think.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
that's
I
yeah.
I think the lowest I go is like 72.
Damn.
Yeah, it's only because I don't know, I just feel like it gets too cold and I can't get comfortable. And so that's like, I don't know. But I do. I guess and you're right. Like I fluctuate what I like in the summer versus winter time.
Mhm.
But I do like I do like to sleep with a window open because I feel like fresh air, obviously not on the first floor because I can't be doing that. I'm
Yeah.
a chicken. But
You're smart. That's what it is. No, you're not a chicken. I wouldn't do that either.
but like if I'm high up, like who's gonna be crawling through my window, right?
Yeah.
So I do like the fresh air. I don't like but everywhere like I've lived, I like to have fresh air. I don't like it closed up, right? Like at my old apartment that you were at, like I always had the balcony door open, right, to bring in fresh air in the mornings and that sort of thing. So I don't know, it just depends. Like I guess. But anyway, but yeah, that's it really. And then it's really I used to try and meditate at night, but obviously it didn't work, so I just fall asleep. And so
Is that
now
terrible though? Like to like
no, I actually think it's good because you're so relaxed that you can go to sleep,
yeah, like I'm
right?
like I see that that's like I mean, it's like when people are like, "Oh, I read to go to sleep." Like you can't is it terrible to meditate to go to sleep? Is that bad?
No, I don't think so. It just for me, I wanted to kind of build on it.
Okay.
And so I I don't know. We'll see. I'll try it in the mornings. If I hate it, I'll switch it to the night. So we'll
Yeah.
see. I'll keep you posted.
Do keep me
Um,
posted.
but now I really try not to have like my phone around because I think we go down a freaking rabbit hole on whatever we're on. And we just like constantly like are scrolling or doing other things that I think when I wake up, it needs to be me time and also when I go to bed, right?
Mhm.
And I actually when I was in college, I did a study on how like the light from phones, computers, TVs and everything are actually bad for your sleep. So I do
Mhm.
not have a TV in my room and I do not want to look at my phone an hour before I go to bed. And as you know, I'm reckless with my phone and I leave my phone somewhere else all the time. I never know where it freaking is.
I feel like
So
that's a green flag in my opinion for someone to just be like, "Yeah, I haven't seen my phone in like 4 hours." I don't know. Like I'm like,
I
"You
do that all
live
the
that
time.
life." Yeah, like you really just be like, "Oh, sorry, I lost track of
Mm.
time." I'm like
I
I
think you
have my
texted me
phone.
once and you're like, "Are you alive? Are you
No, I
okay?" I'm
was
like, "My
so
bad."
concerned. Like I was like, hello, Miss Girl, are you okay?" I think this is when you were still in the Bay Area. So I was just like, girly pop, are you okay? Like,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh, my bad." And I'm just like, "Girl, I thought I was gonna have to come save you."
Yeah.
Um,
And I legitimately will leave my phone. It's on vibrate, so I don't hear it. And I'm like doing other things. Like I'm cleaning my apartment, I'm organizing, I'm doing something else that
See, and you
I
say
just
you're
forget.
not present. You're
Mm.
present all the time. You're never on your phone. Like you're like you will leave your phone for hours. I feel like that's the definition of presence. You're in the moment.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm actually, and that's the one thing is I think I have a like it bothers me when I'm going to spend time with people and like they're constantly on their phone. So like if I'm
Me
going to
too.
have dinner with people, my phone is in my purse.
Mhm.
If I need to check the time, I'll check it real quick and put it back in my purse. If I want to show them a photo or something, I'll take it out, show them, and it goes back into my bag, right? And then there's like some people that like you'll go to dinner and you're just on your phone the whole time. Then why am I here? I don't need to be here. I could be doing other things, right? And I guess I just never got really attached to my phone, but I can see like sometimes like throughout the day or like if I'm alone at like lunchtime, you best believe I'm scrolling through something, right? Like
Yeah.
versus, but to me, it's more of like a little distraction that if I'm like, I don't know, like now that I'm fasting, I don't always go have lunch with the team. Half my team is always traveling. So sometimes there are days where I'm at work and I have no one to go to lunch with. I'll chill at my desk and scroll through Instagram or something like that, right? And whatever. But I think I just never got really attached to things, right? And so I'm always trying to be present and make an effort on it because ultimately I think we have so much that we have so many demands, right? That I feel like we don't get to do a lot of the things that we want to do because we have work. And then it's like then we waste time on like social media and all this stuff. And I remember I met this girl in college where she like participated in like Lent, right? So in Lent you give something up for 40 days.
I remember that. She's
Yes.
Catholic. No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I remember we would
Not I
talk about
remember
it.
that like it was like like it's always a thing, Jade. It's funny because I'm actually Catholic. So it's just like, yeah, yeah. Not
Yeah.
I remember that. Anyways, keep going.
So then she would always give up social media for 40 days and she would delete the apps and everything. And she's like, Aileen, I had so much more time to do other things. I enjoyed other things. Like, I read books, I did this, I went hiking, I did this because I had so much extra time. And I think, yeah, social media and everything's great, right? But we also need to have some limit to it because sometimes you can get on these things and you're like, oh crap, an hour went by, right?
Listen, I can spend Aileen, you said it's like a little distraction. I have a full-on addiction to TikTok.
See,
I have a like
how long are you
TikTok.
on TikTok every
I
day?
don't even want to tell you. You'll be like, Jade,
No, now I'm
honestly,
so
I
curious.
could honestly, no, it's literally so embarrassing. Like people on TikTok, like that are seriously on TikTok, know that it is, this is a drug. Okay. Whatever they put in TikTok, they succeeded. Okay. Because I can spend hours I can spend an entire day on TikTok. I can spend an entire, and sometimes I do. Sometimes, like on Sunday, I won't lie to you. Like, I got invited out on Sunday, and I was like, no, I don't want to go because Sunday is my me day. What does my me day entail? Me eating pot stickers and scrolling through TikTok all damn day. Like that is my day. Like, that will be a Sunday. And that is like, I mean, that's my recharge time, which
Hey,
is
hey,
sad.
if that helps you recharge, cool, right?
But I can spend
That's what I'm
days on
saying.
TikTok. I
Like,
really can. I can go to sleep, I could wake up, go on TikTok, and then go to sleep, and then go back on TikTok. Like if I really wanted to, that's what I'm saying. Like I really have to put my phone outside of my room in order for me not to touch it, like before I go to sleep, or else I will go to sleep watching TikToks, and I will wake up in the morning, and the first thing I'll do will be like, let me check TikTok. And if I wake up when I was waking up at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I had to fight myself to be like, Jade, if you get on TikTok at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna be up this entire time scrolling through TikTok. It's a great time, don't get me wrong, but you're not gonna feel great about it afterwards. So it is a serious thing. I'm like fighting fighting for my life to like wean myself off of TikTok. Like it is a serious addiction.
you know, I feel like it's good when you can learn a lot of things off of TikTok, off
I've learned so
whatever
many
you're on.
things for sure. So many stupid things you wouldn't even imagine. Like, can I tap into them? Probably not. Probably, but when I saw that TikTok, I was like, wow, I learned something. Scroll. Like, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah. But I'm saying there's positives, but should we spend our lives and so much time on these things when there's so much in this world that we can go out and enjoy?
No. I agree. I appreciate you trying to find the silver lining for me. I really do.
Listen,
Sometimes
do me a favor.
what is the favor?
Figure out how long you're on TikTok a day on average.
Oh God. Hold on. I could probably just do it right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh my God. Cause isn't there like the settings and then you could see like your
I
screen
have no
time?
idea. I
Hold
don't have
on.
TikTok, so I don't know.
Hold on. What's crazy is I even tried to put like an app limit on TikTok where it's like you've been
Uh-huh.
on TikTok for an hour, get off of it. Um, I'll see it and I'll just disregard it. Let's see. Okay, so my most used one, daily average. Actually, it's not that bad. Actually, I'm very proud of myself. Wow. What was I doing today though? It's because I was watching Charmed all day. My daily
Hey,
average is 2 hours and 3 minutes. That's not so bad.
that's not bad. That's
That's
not
not
bad.
bad. But Aileen, I'm telling you, it used to be so much worse. Like I just know it in my whole heart. Like I know it. Wait, let me see my weekly average. Hold on. My
Hey,
weekly average is 6 hours and 11 minutes on
okay,
TikTok.
reduce it to 5 and do something
Oh,
else.
okay.
You can
I'm
do
trying.
this.
I'm trying. I wish I would have known what it looked like when I was like deep in it. Like literally before I went to Bali. Because I'm telling you, I was gonna buy the Aura ring. Have you seen the Aura ring before?
Yes,
I was
yes.
gonna buy that because I was like, I need more insights into why my sleep pattern is like the way that it is. Oh, I don't know. Maybe because you just watch 47 videos scroll by in like 30 seconds. Like maybe that has something to do why you can't like put your brain to sleep. I don't know. I'm still considering. Yeah.
I have a friend that bought it and she really
Does she
likes
like
it.
it? I think it's
Yeah.
so cute. Like I'm like, and all the little wellness girlies have it too. Like now I'm like more aware of it. I'm like, do you have the Aura ring? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll
You
see. We'll see.
you let
But
me know if you get one. I need a full review.
I will. I will. Okay. Um, we are coming close to the end of the episode. Do you have any final words of wisdom from Aileen?
I would just say be present and figure out what makes you happy and do a little bit of that every day.
Well, that is beautiful. That is the most Aileen words of wisdom I've heard. That was beautiful. Okay. Well, thank you for that. And thank you all for listening. I know we went on 4 different side quests while we were talking about our routines,
I
but
know, I
thank you
think
so
we went
much.
off.
We went on like 4 different different categories, but hey, we circled back. Did we even finish your nighttime routine? We did, right?
We did. We did.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Okay, perfect. Well, with that being said, we hope that you have a good day or a good night, and we hope that you are well. Bye.
Bye.